Hi, everybody. This is Lisa, and I want to welcome you to another English class here on Verbling.com. If you have a reservation for this class, please go ahead and use it. As soon as people come into the Google Hangouts, we can get started with the class. Hello and welcome, Johnny. How are you, Johnny?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Johnny, is that you playing the guitar?
Yes, it's me.
Nice.
I was a musician where I live, so
Ah,
yeah, but I'm not anymore.
Not anymore?
Yeah, because I had a band,
Uh-huh.
but the band has finished because the members separate. But
Mm.
yes, I still play,
Mm-hmm.
and I still write songs and stuff like that. I
Nice.
don't give up.
What kind of music do you like to play?
All kind of music, but I really, the kind of music that I like most is rock. So
Rock.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Nice.
Mhm.
Hi, Nihan. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. I'm doing great.
Good.
I just woke up.
Oh, yeah. You're
Yeah.
so funny. Well, I saw that it was snowing in Istanbul. Is that true?
Actually, in Izmir, it was snowing, but not really, really badly.
Yeah.
Tiny pieces only. But we haven't seen snow in Izmir since 15 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, I'm originally from California, and this past week was very cold there, unusually cold as well. So maybe a lot of places got a little cold
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah, we said that in one city somewhere right now snowing and the cold just with wind come to our city, but it's
Mhm.
really interesting. Like Izmir, it never snows.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Okay, hi Antonio, how are you? Your microphone's muted.
Yeah.
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi.
I,
Uh,
I see you've been chatting with Miguel. Miguel Angel.
yeah.
Right.
He's,
I was
he's
I
here.
was wondering. I didn't know which Antonio it was, and when you said that you were from Spain, I was thinking, wow, it's really late there, but you're not in Spain. You're in Argentina, so
Yeah.
yes.
Here is 10 o'clock now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and Nihan has to grab her coffee so she can wake up a little bit to talk with us. She's been sleeping because it's 3 a.m. for her in Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Narelle, how are you doing? Narelle, your microphone is muted.
Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you. How are
You
you?
good? You traded in
Good.
your colorful kitties for the energy booster.
Yes, with the flu, we need
Oh
some
no!
energy boost.
Did you get sick?
Yes,
I told you it was through the internet.
yes,
Through the
yes. I
keyboard.
believe you. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, some people believe in the power of suggestion. So even just thinking about it and talking about it, sometimes it can happen. So I don't know. Okay, well, you guys, welcome to class. I do want to just tell everybody out there who's watching that if you do have a reservation, you can use it now. I know that there was a class in the hour before this class, and so there were lots of people in it. Maybe it's still going on. I don't know. Sometimes people join a little bit later. It did say that the class was fully booked, but sometimes people don't always show up. But I wanted to get started, so let's get started. I have this topic today. I just kind of came up with it. I don't always know exactly what I want to talk about in the conversation class, but because it is a conversation class, it just doesn't matter because we want to be able to talk about all kinds of different things in English, and every time we do, we can go over new vocabulary, we can practice different grammatical structures, and all of you will just get good practice anyways. But I thought this was interesting, so I put the link here in the Verbling chat, so you guys can open that page. I'm going to go to it here on the screen share, and I'm going to explain the topic, which is coding. Coding, so it means writing code. So this week here in the United States, they have been launching a program which they call Hour of Code. And what this program is they're trying to reach, as you can read right here on the page, they want to reach 10 million students across the United States, and they want these students, these people, to learn about coding. So a little bit more than, it's not full-on programming, but it's learning about what coding is. So when I say coding, does everybody understand what I mean when I say that? Antonio, do you know what coding is?
Yeah, I'm a developer of software, so
That's what I thought.
I know a little.
You know a little bit.
A little, yes.
Okay, so maybe Antonio might be our resident expert on this, and you might have a lot of opinions about this. We'll see. Johnny, do you know anything about coding?
Not so much. Actually, I'm not an expert. I don't even know a lot of things about it.
Okay.
Can I ask you a favor?
Yes.
Can you use the normal chat because the Verbling chat doesn't work to me?
Yes, I'll put it in the Google chat as well. Okay.
Thank you.
And I know Yuki, you know what coding is, right, Yuki? Hi, Yuki.
Hi. Hello.
So
What?
if I remember correctly, Yuki, you used to work in computers in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Code. Computer code. Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. Computer coding.
I see.
Writing code.
It means program.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I know.
So writing code. Narelle, have you ever tried to write code for a computer program?
Oh, actually, I am taking some courses. I started about 1 week ago.
Wow.
So I'm still learning.
What kind of class is it that you are taking?
Well, it's like coding words in English, so you can save time when you are taking notes.
I see. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Nihon? Have you ever tried coding, writing a little program or anything? No. Okay.
I've never tried.
Mm-hmm.
It seems a little bit confusing, and I've never tried.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Well, this is what they're trying to have people do. So it's called, like I said, Hour of Code, and I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm not going to read through. But what they're trying to do is get students all throughout the school systems, so meaning elementary school, middle school, and high school, to do something about learning computer science, computer programming, and coding. So coding, what coding is it's like the language. It's how the directions for the program. So you need to write the code, and then the code creates the program. It's what you actually see on the screen. And so everything that we use here on the computer right now is coded. So the website Verbling, a big part of the Verbling website is the coders, the people like behind the scenes. They are the people who create all of this computer language, which is called the code, and it creates the page. It creates the chat box, all those different things. Of course, we're using Google Hangouts right now, so that has to all be coded as well. So what this website is all about is having a curriculum that people can use, and it's for free. So if you look around on the website, here's the main link. I'll put it again in the Google chat. Yeah, you have a long history of coding, huh, Yuki? I've seen it. So they made this this video here that I watched the other day of different people talking about coding and everything. But the main idea of it is that it's a very important modern day skill to learn. And so this is what I wanted to ask you guys and what I wanted to think about and talk about is, do we think it is an important skill? Should it be something that everybody learns? So should everybody learn how to code? Now, of course, I'm mostly talking about students. So at this point, the question is actually something like, should schools teach students how to code? So that's the first question. I want to put that out to everybody because this is a campaign. This is a program that has just started this week, I think. It started on the 9th of December, I believe. And it's pretty big. I mean, in this video, if you watch the video, then you will be able to see President Obama, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, Bill Gates. You will see a lot of people talking about how important this is to learn how to code. And you will see a lot of adults saying, I never learned this in school. Nobody ever taught me how to do this. And so a lot of adults now believe that they should know how to code as well in order to have skills to perhaps get a better job. So Antonio provided a link for us in the Google chat to one of his programs, if you guys want to go there and check it out. So what do you think, Antonio? Being a computer programmer yourself, when did you learn how to code? When did you first learn how to code? How old were you?
No, for me it's very early.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I have been coding only for 5 years or something like that. I'm a beginner.
Oh, so you learned as an adult then?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I study Java language, and that's another skills I use actually in my job.
Is this something that you studied in college? Is that what you went to college for?
No. In my case, I study on my own. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I always liked the programs. When I was a teenager, I did some things on my own. But now I work professionally on this.
Wow. So you taught yourself how to program, and is that because you wanted to make money that way, or was it just for fun to start off?
Both. I like to do this, but of course I would like to make one killer application.
Yeah.
Like
the
like
one that will
famous.
make you rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be fine.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Good. So, is your opinion then that people should learn how to code? Do you think it's a good thing for everybody to learn?
I think it's interesting because you improve different kind of thinking in very logical way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see what is or you can find out what is behind the screen and how to do this,
Mm-hmm.
how to make this.
Right.
It's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah. Exactly. Hello to Antonio from Brazil. So we have two Antonios in class now. Hi, Antonio.
Oh,
Hello. How are
oh,
you?
good to see you
Good to
tonight.
see you. Yes.
I was watching your class, but I began to interested because some time ago I began to study programming
Really?
in internet. Yes, it's not so difficult as people think
Mm.
because there are too much tools for you learn to code.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I got to say I can't say exactly, but there are some web sites that you can learn
Uh-huh.
alone, and I learn how to create a website
Uh-huh.
uh, without a tutor. Yes, no so difficult as it appear.
Yeah. Yeah, so you taught yourself how to make a website by reading on another website? So learning from another website.
For another website,
Yes, from
uh, just a minute.
okay.
I post a link. Uh, you can learn to make a website
Mm-hmm.
alone,
Oh yeah.
step by step.
Okay, sure, yeah. Yes, that is true. There are lots of websites these days that can teach you step by step how to code, what to do, how to create something, especially websites. Yes. So Antonio, do you think it's important to teach coding to students, young students?
Yes, nowadays we have a deficit of professionals in programming because there are too much demand. I
Mm-hmm.
think this demand for professionals. Uh, we involved in technology in
Mm-hmm.
all areas. All areas need programming. If there are no professionals for that, uh, there are needs to create tools for to learn programming and to people can make your program code by herself or themselves.
For themselves, yeah. Yeah. Okay, Johnny.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about this idea? So the question that I'm asking is, do you think it's important for schools to teach children, their students, young students, how to program? So in the past, schools have mostly focused on things like reading, writing,
Mhm.
math, some science maybe. Maybe you got some art, or music or something. but coding has not been a part of the school curriculum. Do you think it's important for nowadays for students to learn that?
I think it's important, but it cannot sound like an obligation. I mean, the government don't need to obligate the schools to teach this kind of things for children, because not everybody likes. I mean, it is important. Yes, you can be great things, maybe in the future to get a good job, But the point is, the children needed to like this kind of things, Not everybody likes. But I believe that is really important. It can be something really cool, if the schools teach this kind of things for the children. But it cannot be compared with the other subjects like math or even languages, music and stuff like that. But they can add, the subjects in the schools too. But it cannot sound like an obligation. That's what I think.
So maybe like here in the U.S., when we go to high school, we have some classes where we get to select what we want. They're called electives. So maybe coding. Are you suggesting that coding could be an elective, not an obligatory or not a required course?
Exactly. Because the people, the students would like to learn this kind of things. Will be involved and interested about it, So if it's gonna be something that they are learning faster because they are interested about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's what I think. I guess.
Okay. Thank you, Luis. Hi, Luis.
Hi there.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Luis, are you a computer programmer?
Yes, I do. I do web development.
You do web development. Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you learn how to do that? How long ago?
It was 5 years ago. I took a optional course at the college. It was about web development and especially to build an online store.
And now that's what you do for money?
Just first time I did it for me and one of my friends. It was a site about for selling crafts.
Cool.
It didn't do so well, but after that I tried on other stores and I do this for other clients now, for other customers.
Nice. So do you think it's something that should be taught in schools?
I think it's a basic skill. Everybody should learn and at the first grades in the school.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not required for all children, but it could be something especially practice for today.
Okay. So Nihan, you're feeling lonely. You're not skilled in
terribly
coding.
lonely. Not only about coding, all about the computer thing.
Yeah.
But I just want to learn about Norel. Norel, are you a programmer too?
No, I am not.
Yes, great. Two ladies.
No, I'm not a programmer, Nihan.
Okay, but Nihan, this is so it's like a bigger question. You don't have to be a programmer, but it's like, do we think that presumably education is to prepare you to live in your society, in your culture, to give you the skills. So like a long time ago when there were hunter-gatherers, the skills were more specific to hunting and gathering and being able to live in the wild perhaps. And then as time changed, different skills were important. And nowadays, maybe some skills are becoming more important for the success of future generations. And I think that's what these people are thinking. I'm just wondering what people in general think. So do you see that as an important thing for people to do, or not really? Not like the majority of people?
Well done, Lisa. You are great. Really, really great. You changed the topic for me. Of course, I believe it's obvious. The time change and what the century is for necessity for children. It's necessary for to learn about them. Maybe you are right with hunting. We know different things in the old times, and maybe the future kids needs different things in the future. Who knows? But I have no strength or no ability to learn about coding. You know.
You have no ability to learn about it?
Yeah, I
or
think
no,
so.
or no reason to, or no desire to.
No desire, no reason.
Yeah.
I just want. mm, I always believe that I have to focus what I'm best at. And for example, I think I couldn't learn third or fourth language. I can only focus on English to be the best in English. If I share my time to learn other different languages too, it could be hard for me to be expert or best in one language. I always believe that.
Yeah. So you prefer to focus more than just
Yeah.
learn a bunch of
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah, what's necessary for my life. I prefer to focus on them.
So you would agree with Johnny probably that maybe it's not necessary for everybody, but the people who have that interest. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because that kind of things takes a lot of time to focus, to study, to be the best. Everyone just know coding or programmer or who knows? Everyone just said we are hackers or something, but none of them are best.
The best, okay,
yeah, and I think people has to do what they are best at, and we have to pay for them. I don't want everyone to be an accountant or something.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Yes, I agree. And also I think this kind of things don't need to be compared with the other subjects that we already learning at school, like math, languages, and stuff like that. Because this kind of things is important. Learning codes and something related to the internet can be cool because it's kind of help us to get a good job, but it's not so important. It has the other subjects that we already learn.
Okay. What do you think, Nurel? Do you think?
I believe that school should teach their students coding at very early young age because it's a very skill to learn. It's a very important skill. It will help them later on or down the road in their professional life and also in their educational life because, for example, if they learn how to code, then they will be better person taking notes. They could take very good notes, and this is a very good skill to be a good student in a university and to be good as a person. In addition, I mean, this skill will help them to be ahead of their generation and not to fail behind their generation. Technology is every day changing, and it is better that young students learn new things. It is always great to know new things because, as I say, it's always helpful. It make students. It's a great skill. It's make you look smart and it's improve your brain. It's make you it's help your brain to work.
That's an interesting point that you bring up, because a lot of people, for example, in the United States, generally they have basic math until junior high or high school, and then if you want to do higher math, you start off with algebra, and you do geometry, and then you do algebra 2, and then you have like trigonometry, calculus, okay? And a lot of people go through high school and they do all of those math classes, and then they never ever use that math again in their life, right? But the argument is that it makes you think a certain way. So it's not necessarily the fact that you're going to use those skills later, but you're using your brain in a certain way. Nihan, are you?
I just want to add briefly. Yes, I believe that idea because some of my friends said to me, and I just aware what he meant. If you want to understand poetry, you have to know science. You have to know maths. Because there are different languages, and if you don't know about science, you cannot understand literature totally, because all the readers, all the novelists, all the big guys in all science, they all know science, and when they are writing underneath their sentences, you have to know what they are talking about in scientifically, math, or the other stuff. It doesn't mean they are not related. They are all related.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I heard you saying, Narelle, kind of like it would be good not just as a skill, but as a way to help them think and learn how to think and use their brain a certain way.
Yeah, increase their imagination to think about things in general.
A different way of thinking about things. Yeah.
I don't know it's effective.
Yuki, okay, you're up. Tell us, Yuki, what is your opinion?
Yes, I think it is not necessary to teach children how to code in schools, because children, there are many things for children to learn in schools. They have to learn their native language, grammar, and literature, science, and if possible, foreign languages. So I think now you can use computer without no knowledge of computer language. So it is not necessary. I think it is more important to teach children how to make the most of computer, how to utilize computer for your aim effectively. You watch television now, but you don't. I think most of people don't know how TV is consist of, what system is working in the TV. So, but you can use TV and you can get information from watching TV. So I don't think it is not necessary. But I think also that it is important to know how computer working. Basic knowledge is maybe it's useful, and maybe teaching computer language is the maybe a good chance for children who are interested in computer to get into more deeply in the world of to know computer world. As regards me, I began to learn computer programming more than 30 years ago. Then there is no, of course, there is no Windows, no, even operation
DOS.
system is very simple.
Yes.
I began to learn computer when personal computer began to appear in Japan. There is no name personal computer. We call it my computer.
Yeah,
my computer.
my computer. Yeah.
Mycon. Abbreviation is Mycon. Yes.
Okay, Mycon.
And computer is very expensive, so I go to electric shop and directly in the shop I programmed.
Yeah.
I code it.
Right.
Because I loved it. I have big interest in it. There is no need to teaching. Then there is no internet, so there is no information about programming. So, but there was a journal for computer lover, programming lovers.
Yeah.
So I buy constantly every month.
Yeah.
I buy this journal. I learned for myself. Firstly, I learned basic, but basic is very slow to works very slow. So I learned machine language. Machine language is awful thing. Machine language is just a row of code.
Yeah.
You don't understand what it's written. It is very difficult. Maybe now children don't understand and don't want to learn machine language. But then I have great interest in computer, so I was very excited to learn machine language.
Yeah. So Yuki, would you say when I'm listening to you talk, it makes me think maybe the people, what you really, when you learn something that you really love, it's not necessarily something that you learned in school. So you're saying, so. Yeah, you're saying that, you know, maybe coding is not important to learn in school, but you can definitely learn it if you really want to anyways.
Yes, I think so, but it is very good to giving children the chance to knowing the computer world is a good thing, I think.
Yes. Okay.
It is a good chance to get into the computer.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, I put up here, I just quickly made a document. I gave you guys the link. So I used to be a teacher in elementary school. So this has always been a very interesting topic for me. And now I homeschool. My daughter goes to school now, but my boys are still homeschooling. And so it's always an interesting topic for me to think what really is the job of the school system and the educational system. And I'm curious if the United States, the President of the United States now thinks that coding should be learned. Because here in the U.S., everybody has an opinion. Like some people think there should be music and art, that should be for sure. Some people think physical education, getting exercise is really important. Every kid should do that every day. And now other people think science and math. We should really only do science and math, So everybody has kind of, we call it their pet agendas. And I'm just wondering what you guys think. If you had to go to school again now, if you were a kid, what kinds of things would you really want to learn in school? If you had to spend, 8 hours per day at school, what kinds of things would you want to learn? So, Antonio, what would you like to learn in school if you had to go back to school?
I think that school must be to teach you to be creative.
Creative, okay.
creative because I don't know what happened in 5 years. Imagine 30 years. The world is very dynamic. So I must to teach the children to be creative, to know, to adapt in some circumstances that they there are tools for their thinking, to think and be creative, to be critical, perhaps.
Okay. And
Critical, I think the word.
critical to teach students to critical thinking. Is that what you mean?
Creative, critical thinkers.
Teach to be creative, or maybe you're saying creativity. That's how to be creative.
Creative, okay.
Creativity, that's the word maybe you were saying. Antonio, the other Antonio.
Okay.
From Spain, living in Argentina.
Yeah.
What would you like schools to teach, or what would you like to have learned in school?
I think it will be more needy of the literature. For example, I discovered the books outside the school. I mean the literature.
The literature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the school it's very formal. You have to do comments, to know the author, to all this, but you don't put the heart when you are reading.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that is important for the imagination, the creativity, and all this stuff. Back to the other topic in the code.
Yes.
I think it's very useful for creativity in coding programs, because when you are programming, you have to solve many problems, logical problems, and there are many ways to do that. It's not a straight work. You have to imagine how to do all this process. It's important. And another thing is not like math, that the children's when they are learning maths, they can see any results. They only see numbers.
Yes.
But when you are coding, you can see, when you run the application, you see animations or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
It's very fun for the children.
Yeah.
Teacher.
Yes.
Can I speak? I think I told about teach to be creative.
Yes.
But Antonio say the way to make children to be creative by literature. I think it's very important to make creation to read know good literature. It's very good.
Yeah.
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 For example, sorry.
Go ahead, Antonio.
For example, now in my adult age, I discovered I like to write poems and all this, and even short histories. Because, but I have learned on my own, because in the school there was any interest in this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Johnny, what do you think should be taught in schools?
Well, I mean, have the children, every children have a different taste. I mean, a different thing that they want to learn into. But in my opinion, we can keep the subjects that our parents have learned when they went to at school. But we can also add different things, different subjects, just like math, music, arts, or even something about the internet to make them be interested about something who they can think it's cool. But this kind of things need to be selective, needed to be something more. But you cannot change our system, that we already have. I think it's, can have some impact about this.
Are you saying that schools basically keep the same subjects, but maybe it means like people can learn outside of school other things? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they needed to keep the subjects, but they can also add, more
add
subjects
new subjects.
For,
Yeah, okay.
For students learn. I think it's important.
More opportunities.
Yes, they needed to listen to the children. They cannot just say what they needed to learn and stuff like that. They just needed to learn them. I think it's important. It's something that make it then learn more than before.
Yeah. Okay. Luis?
Yes?
Luis, where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Okay. And so what do you think kids these days should learn in school?
I think coding is important. Well, there's a difference between doing this for a living and doing this for fun or just to communicate some things. For example, even children can build a blog, can start a blog and customize the look, add some Twitter or Facebook widgets, and make for example, they can even build a website for NGOs. Is that the way it's pronounced?
Yes,
non-governmental
NGOs.
Organizations. Okay.
Yes.
They can help their community that way.
Yeah.
And also, it's important to note that I think sometimes a school prepare children just to go to college and get a job. They teach children to be employees, but maybe they can teach to be entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs.
Maybe one of those children can build the next Facebook killer or Google killer, another great application. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
For that reason, I think it's very important to know coding these days.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and one of the things that I wanted to add to what Antonio was saying, and I think you would agree, one of the nice things about learning coding, especially in a school setting actually, is you get instant results. So when you're coding, and Antonio from Brazil, you probably saw this when you were learning to code HTML. If you're trying to create a web page and you put in a certain number, it comes out a certain color, and you say, oh, that's not the color I wanted, or you see it automatically, versus a lot of times when you're doing math, like my son is doing algebra right now and he has to solve for X, so he's always solving for X, but it's not so satisfying all the time. Even if you get the answer right, it's like numbers on a paper. But nowadays, like Luis, what you're saying, students can help make blogs. They can create all different kinds of things, and it's in real time. It's happening like right now. I put in this code, and then I click run or whatever, and it appears. And then I know, did I do it right? Did I do it wrong? Is there a mistake or an error? And it's right there. So it's like that instant feedback, which feels good a lot of times for kids and adults too. Nihan, what would you put in schools if you had to put something?
Actually, I'm more interested in what they shouldn't learn.
Okay, tell me.
I'm totally against religious education.
Okay.
And against teaching history from patriots. They are creating little nationalists, racists maybe, with polishing their own country a lot. And the children just think, yes, we are living in the best country, our blood is noble or something.
Yep. Yeah.
Many things, I don't know, because the primary education has to give you the clues, not the whole things. I don't
Sure.
think so they can give you creativity. I don't think so they can teach you how to write a poem. It's all on the students' capacity or something. But they have to give the key education, but they shouldn't give uh, the wrong side of the waves about history, about politics, or something.
Okay. So it should be something that's not, we call it skewed to one side or the other. So it should not necessarily represent a patriotic view or a religious point of view.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things. Yes. Nurel, what do you think about education? What should or shouldn't be involved in schools or part of the school?
Well, first of all, I think that PE, which stands for physical education, should not be taught at school because there are many places and gymnasium outside school where students can go and learn. Another thing students should not learn at school is music and arts. Because, as I say, there are many clubs outside school where students can learn those skills. What I think it should be compulsory is teaching students academic subjects and especially ethics. Ethics, why ethics? Because today parents are very busy with their work and they don't have time to teach their kids some ethics. So I think it would be great if school really focus on academic subjects and ethics.
What would you include as academic subjects?
Well,
Reading
a
and writing.
balance, yes, reading, writing, math, science, a balance between all the skills that all students will need later on at university's level. Because there is a basic skills that we should know.
Norel,
Will be
what are
learned
you
at
talking
school.
about ethics?
And ethics is a um, is
I know
a
the meaning, but how could we teach a student, and what was the context about ethics?
well, in United States, I saw a very bad habit in some elementary school, which we call bullying. So if some schools really teach some ethics, like how to treat your classmates politely and how to avoid those bad behaviors that some students learn from other bad students. I mean, from bullying students.
Bullying.
Yeah. So that's what I really means by ethics.
No, I don't get it. How could you learn to teach a child what is wrong or right?
Well, it's the same thing like you teach him to say hi to people who tell him hi. I mean, it's the same thing like we learned when when we were young how to be polite at other people, how to respect other people,
Like
and
etiquette?
ethics.
Manners, yeah.
But but I mean, it should be a program that will avoid bullying at school.
So
Because
as part of the actual curriculum, you would involve something that maybe a lot of people would consider something that should be taught at home already, but you're basing your information on living in the United States and the fact that many of these students don't seem to have that level of behavior, so maybe it needs to be taught now in the school.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, in the school, because you try to teach your kids to behave properly, but at the end of the day, they come from school learning bad things. Why? Because he is imitating his classmates. So, do this classmate person, parents, didn't teach him to behave nicely? I am sure not. I am sure that they do. They do teach him to behave nicely, but there is something wrong with the school. School should pay more attention because all parents teach their kids good behavior, good manner, and respect and everything. So I think school should, yes, uh, should open their eyes on this kind of.
Okay, Johnny, did you want to say something?
Yes, actually, it's a little bit different about what they are saying. I just want to say something that I have in mind. Something that I've noticed in my country is that the education system are not teaching important stuff. Those like who makes children open their minds to change the situation about their country. They don't learn how to vote. They don't learn about corruption. They don't learn about what is democracy and stuff like that. What is said actually. So I think if they learn a little bit about what is important to make a positive impact to the country or even the world, in other words, political shows, it could be better, to have some change.
Yeah. It's I'm going to give Yuki a minute here, but first I just want to say, Narelle, what you're talking about and what Johnny you just brought up is a big thing here in the U.S. too, because a lot of times we assume that the parents are doing a lot of things at home, but a lot of times because, like you said, they're working full-time, both of them, and they're tired when they get home, it's not happening. So the schools, even when I was a teacher, it was like they wanted the schools to do everything, like teach all the subjects, teach them how to behave, teach them how to think critically, teach them how to be creative, and it wasn't possible actually for the schools to do all of that.
Yes, possible.
Yeah.
Teacher, can I put it on topic?
Yeah.
Environmental attitudes, conscience of importance of nature is very important. We children to have. In fact, they are more informed about it. Exactly. Environmental education is very important to respect your natural environmental.
Okay. Yes, and let's let Yuki finish off here. We only have a couple minutes left. So Yuki, what would you like to add?
I'm anxious about that. Now many children don't know about their native language. In Japan, many curriculums are added in the program or in the elementary school programs, and subject of native language and literature have decreased. So now children haven't enough knowledge about Japanese. So many children cannot read difficult books, and they write with many mistakes, and they don't know about about Chinese characters much. I think native language is a basic of your knowledge. So I think in children have to learn their native language deeply in their childhood.
In their childhood. Okay.
Yes.
Well, good, you guys. This is always an interesting topic for me. Nihan, what did you mean?
The teachers are not supermans, you know.
Yes.
A lot of teacher has not
True. They don't have those skills.
capacity and skills.
Yes.
And you cannot expect a lot of things from them.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
Not every teacher is Lisa.
Not every teacher wants to think about all these different topics.
Yes.
they want to focus and
yes,
just talk
exactly.
about one thing.
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome, and I mean, thank you for coming to class, you guys, and I'll see you again later. I have another class in 3 hours, and I have some more classes tomorrow and on the weekend. But I find this topic very interesting, and we'll see how it goes. You know, this is the future of our world together, and you guys brought up a lot of things, and maybe the school system is not the place to look for the answers, but, you know, you do spend a lot of time there when you're young. So it would be good if it was time well spent. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you,
It
Lisa.
was awesome.
Take care.
Thanks, teacher.
All right,
Goodbye.
bye-bye,
See you
guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Not so much. Actually, I'm not an expert. You know, I don't even know a lot of things about it.
Okay.
Can I ask you a favor?
Yes.
Can you use the normal chat because the Verbling chat doesn't work to me?
Yes, I'll put it in the Google chat as well. Okay.
Thank you.
And I know Yuki, you know what coding is, right, Yuki? Hi, Yuki.
Hi. Hello.
So if I remember correctly, Yuki, you used to work in computers in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Code. Computer code. Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. Computer coding.
I see.
Writing code.
It means program.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I know.
So writing code. Narelle, have you ever tried to write code for a computer program?
Oh, actually, I am taking some courses. I started about 1 week ago.
Wow.
So I'm still learning.
What kind of class is it that you are taking?
Well, it's like coding words in English, so you can save time when you are taking notes.
I see. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Nihan? Have you ever tried coding, writing a little program or anything? No. Okay.
I've never tried. It seems a little bit
Your microphone is muted.
Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you.
Hi. How are you?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. You traded in your colorful kitties for the energy booster.
Yes. With the flu, we need some energy boost.
Did you get sick?
Yes.
I told you it was through the internet.
Yes, I believe you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, you know, some people believe in the power of suggestion. So even just thinking about it and talking about it, sometimes it can happen. So I don't know. Okay, well, you guys, welcome to class. I do want to just tell everybody out there who's watching that if you do have a reservation, you can use it now. I know that there was a class in the hour before this class, and so there were lots of people in it. Maybe it's still going on, I don't know. sometimes people join a little bit later. It did say that the class was fully booked, but sometimes people don't always show up. But I wanted to get started, so let's get started. I have this topic today. I just kind of came up with it. I don't always know exactly what I want to talk about in the conversation class, but because it is a conversation class, it just doesn't matter because we want to be able to talk about all kinds of different things in English, and every time we do, we can go over new vocabulary, we can practice different...
Snow in Izmir since 15 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, I'm originally from California, and this past week was very cold there, unusually cold as well, so maybe a lot of places got a little cold weather.
Yeah, we said that in one city somewhere right now snowing, and the cold just with wind come to our city. But it's really interesting. Like Izmir, it never snows, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Okay, hi Antonio, how are you? Your microphone's muted.
Yeah.
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi.
I see you've been chatting with Miguel. Miguel Angel.
Yeah.
Right. I was wondering. I didn't know which Antonio it was, and when you said that that you were from Spain, I was thinking, wow, it's really late there, but you're not in Spain. You're in Argentina, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here is 10 o'clock now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and Nihan has to grab her coffee so she can wake up a little bit to talk with us. She's been sleeping because it's 3 a.m. for her in Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Narelle, how are you doing? Narelle. Grammatical structures, and all of you will just get good practice anyways. But I thought this was interesting. So I put the link here in the Verbling chat. So you guys can open that page. I'm going to go to it here on the screen share, and I'm going to explain the topic, which is coding. Coding. So it means writing code. So this week here in the United States, they have been launching a program which they call Hour of Code. And what this program is they're trying to reach, as you can read right here on the page, they want to reach 10 million students across the United States, and they want these students, these people, to learn about coding. So a little bit more than, it's not full-on programming, but it's learning about what coding is. So when I say coding, does everybody understand what I mean when I say that? Antonio, do you know what coding is?
Yeah, I'm a developer of software, so
that's what I thought.
I know a little.
You know a little bit.
A little, yes.
Okay, so maybe Antonio might be our resident expert on this, and you might have a lot of opinions about this. We'll see. Johnny, do you know anything about coding? Hi everybody, this is Lisa, and I want to welcome you to another English class here on Verbling.com. If you have a reservation for this class, please go ahead and use it. As soon as people come into the Google Hangouts, we can get started with the class. Hello and welcome, Johnny. How are you, Johnny?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Johnny, is that you playing the guitar?
Yes, it's me.
Nice.
I was a musician where I live. So
Ah.
yeah, but I'm not anymore.
Not anymore?
Yeah, because I had a band, but the band has finished because the members separate. But yes, I still play, and I still write songs and stuff like that.
Nice.
I don't give up.
What kind of music do you like to play?
All kind of music, but I really, the kind of music that I like most is rock.
Rock.
So, yeah.
Cool. Nice. Hi, Nihan. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. I'm doing great.
Good.
I just woke up.
Oh, yeah. You're so funny. Well, I saw that it was snowing in Istanbul. Is that true?
Actually, in Izmir, it was snowing, but not really, really badly.
Yeah.
Tiny pieces only, but we haven't seen